I like the amount of characters in my children's book to be small. Since there are less characters, in my opinion, it makes them easier to remember. So for my book, Bella's Blue Jay Adventure, the reader only needs to focus on two main characters, Bella and a blue jay. I personally like this because as an author, I don't have to worry about keeping up with so many different characters, and I can make each person stand out a bit more. The amount of characters you add to your own book is up to you, so feel free to experiment and see what works. Make characters that are recognizable. For me, my thought process when creating characters is to have them look completely different from the character that's next to them. Now, this isn't always the case, but having characters that look at least slightly different is good practice in my opinion. So my book consists of a blue bird and a cat. And when they are next to each other, you can easily tell the difference. They are distinguishable. So make characters that are recognizable and tie them together within the story. And it's okay to have characters that look similar if that's what you want to achieve. You can always make them different through their personality or something else. Speaking of personality, personality is important. I love all types of personalities, and personality is important. It shows how your characters will act in certain situations. It will also show how each character interacts with one another. In my book, Bella is a curious, adventurous cat who loves to make friends and explore. And her curious personality is what gets her lost. She accidentally strays too far from home when looking for a new friend. The blue jay in my story is more calm and caring, and she helps Bella find her way back home. Two characters, two different personalities, and one story. So be sure to take out time to work on your characters' personalities. It plays a huge role in the story. The next thing I learned is have a little lore. Give your characters a backstory. Why do your characters behave the way they do? What are some things that happened in their past? Although this information may or may not show up in your book, it's important to know these things because it helps build the character you make. For example, the blue jay in my story is a leader. She is the leader over the other blue jays in the forest. And for her to have become a leader, she has to have certain qualities of leadership, such as being calm during stressful situations. So the reason all these other blue jays are found within the background is so that they can help protect their leader, just in case the cat isn't friendly. So my tip for you is to have some lore for your characters in the early stages of writing and or character creation. Even if these things are never mentioned, it's always nice for them to be there. Words first. What I mean by this is write the words of your story first. Then you can have illustrations that revolve around those words. I'm a bit more lenient about this tip because I do enjoy character design, so there are times I will design a character before I even write the book. But words are important because they establish what happens in the book and show where things take place. And then after you write the words, you can build the art and the characters around it. But as I said, sometimes I enjoy designing characters first. So try out both and see what suits you. Have interesting backgrounds. Backgrounds are pretty much the setting of your story, and they play a huge part in the world building. So make sure you take time and consider where your story takes place and what's in the background. Even if your world is small, there can still be a lot you can add. For example, let's say your book takes place in the kitchen of your home. What things can you add to the background to make your story feel more alive? Well, you can add lights. Maybe you can add pots and pans, a fridge, countertops, food. Maybe there are background characters. Maybe there's a window that shows the weather outside. All these things are examples of what you can put in your background to make your story feel more alive and interesting. And hey, there could even be no background. That can show how empty or how vast the world is. So experiment with all types of backgrounds and see what works for you. For me personally, I like to make more nature-related backgrounds, and I also like to have my backgrounds fully colored. The characters are the main focus in my stories, so I try to make backgrounds that complement them. Know the theme of your book. Why are you writing this book? What is the takeaway? Do you want your book to inspire others? Do you want it to be funny? Maybe it teaches a lesson, or maybe it tugs at the heartstrings. Always keep the theme of your book in mind so you don't lose sight of the goal you want to achieve. Now, I would like to tell you the theme of my book, but I plan on reading a bit of it in the future, so ultimately I want you guys to guess. That's everything, so here's the recap of all the things I learned. My book is available on Amazon for purchase, so if you'd like to buy it, I'd appreciate it. If you cannot purchase it, then that's completely fine. I plan on reading a bit of my book on this channel in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and bye!